Hello everyone, in just 6 days will be the 1-year anniversary of the corgi car accident I witnessed with my provider Jenny on Wednesday, March 11th, 2020. I can't believe that it has almost been a year of grieving and healing and all the happy memories of dog sitting and living on puppies this last year. It has been weird to grieve this long because it was such a tragic accident and I'm at my last steps. I am so fortunate that I'm able to share my feelings with all my providers and to myself too, and validate the process of grieving. I know that people experience grieving in all kinds of ways, so I know Jenny has her own way. I have my own way too. I have a feeling that I witness a lot of things differently too because I'm on the autism spectrum, so I grieve in a different way than most other people do, like Jenny. So I had a dream last night that my provider was moving and leaving to Washington to start a new job, and I associated that with the final goodbye of the corgi that I witnessed almost a year ago. It was weird how it was my provider because I witnessed the accident with my provider, I dreamed about her because we witnessed the accident together, and that was what the dream was about, was saying our last final goodbyes and getting closure. And it was like weird that I had that because yesterday was a week until the 1-year anniversary, so I did think about that a lot yesterday, about this will be the last Thursday before the accident that you witnessed a year ago. And just to make it a year, that's a big milestone. And I have thoughts about what I'm going to be doing next Thursday, rather be alone, rather I'm going to be with friends, if I'm going to be with my mom, if I'm going to be watching YouTube videos. I'm nervous for next Thursday on the anniversary because it's such a big, tragic day, and I moved past that. Like, I have no emotions behind the accident, but just my mental state is still, it's been a year, and just remembering flashbacks of the accident with my provider that day. But again, I think everyone grieves in different ways, and there's no right or wrong answer. I know for me, it took longer because this has been my first tragic accident I have witnessed in my whole life, and I was 24 years old when I witnessed it, and now I'm 25, so I know it's my first major accident, so it takes me longer to process and grieve and to have my body grieve, and for my mind to catch up on that too, because I know it's hard to do that. And I also was grieving a lot a couple weeks ago with my providers, all of them actually. Crazy week, but I did post about it on Facebook about how I'm into orcas, and I was watching a documentary about Tilcum, the Sea World orca, and I was learning about like the documentary and how he did kill a few people, and how I was working with my provider on Wednesday, February 24th, and who knew, but Tilcum did kill someone on that day, and I was working with Jenny. And then I was going to the grocery store on that Wednesday too, just to pick up milk, and next thing you know, the milk expiration date said March 11th. I showed my provider right away, Jenny, who I was working with, and said, look at the date. It's the death date of the corgi accident. And she was mind blown too, just like me, but I got the milk because I needed milk, but just the date was on the milk, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy how that would happen. And I showed my Tuesday provider, Sarah, the video of the corgi accident too, and she helped me grieve about that. And the last final step is, oh my gosh, I can't believe this, but my Saturday provider has a very close friend that lives next to her, and she has a corgi. And my last step in my grieving process is touching a corgi, because I'm around dogs almost all the time now. I dog sit. I have a passion for dogs. So like dogs has been a part of my life for many years. And even though I take care of dogs, I'm like, okay, it's a dog. It's my client. It's my aunt's dog, for example. But I think it'll be cool to touch a corgi because I associate dogs with nothing wrong with dogs in general, but like a corgi, I think if I touch a corgi for like 10 minutes, then I will be healing for the last process of my grieving process. And I think it'll be really cool to experience that with my Saturday provider because I experienced the accident with her mom and now I'll be done grieving with her daughter. So it's gonna be like a full circle of grieving. And I'm so lucky I work with them too. And Sarah was a big support when I showed her the video a couple weeks ago about like how I documented that day and of the accident and just how saying it's a dog, just any other dog in the neighborhood, but she gave me good advice, but at the same time, the corgi is a breed that I don't watch, but I have touched a corgi in my past before the accident, but I'm so grateful that Erica, my other provider, texted her friend saying, this is the situation, can my client touch your corgi outside for a few minutes because it will make the grieving process all gone, and that's the last step. So I think that's gonna happen sometime in April, and I'm so grateful that Erica's friend is allowing me to touch her corgi because I associate corgis with the accident, but if I touch the corgi and am used to the dog around me, then I'll be fine. It's just that breaking point of touching a corgi because I'm around all kinds of breeds all the time, but so grateful that Erica suggested me doing that because that's been on my mind for the last year. I didn't tell anyone, but since Erica suggested that, then I would take that up right away. And I'm sure Jenny's doing fine with the grieving process. I know she has witnessed a lot of things that I haven't about death and whatever, so this is just so new to me. So the dream last night was just so creepy, and I can't believe that next Thursday is the anniversary. There's no more Thursdays. So, that's kind of a big milestone too. But I have been texting my whole team about that I'm still grieving and I'm at my final closure grieving steps, and it's just almost been a year and just I don't know what I'm going to be doing the anniversary of the death. Oh my god, it's just I don't want to be alone. That's my biggest fear, is like I want to spend some time with someone. The accident happened at 3:30 p.m. that day, so I want to be busy in like the late afternoon. So I'm sure Jenny will be fine. She's like over it. She still has thoughts about it too, but I keep on bringing it up because it's how I process the grieving, and she allows me to text her and email her about that too, but she does not really want to be involved in it, and I get that. Just from like internalizing my feelings, I think that she had enough. But at the same time, I didn't witness it with her, and she's the closest person to me besides my parents. So crazy how I think it was coincidentally made that I experienced it with my provider. If I was alone, wow, I'll be in a whole different mindset. I'll be in a whole different grieving process than if I was with her too. So, or without her, but I'm just so grateful that it was meant to be, just to witness it with her. And of course, we are really close now, and we bonded over that. And I have a stronger attachment because of that. But it's crazy that we witnessed that together. but I'm excited to know for sure I'll be touching the corgi next month, because that'll be my last grieving process, and then I should be good. But again, I did see a corgi when I hiked to Forest Park with my parents last weekend. We took a 7.5 mile hike, and I see corgis on rare occasions out in the community, but I think just touching a corgi will like make my emotions more stable, because I am around dogs, and I do have a little, just very happy section in my heart that goes out to dogs now. And mistakes happen. I have to forgive and forget myself for grieving this long, but it's just part of life. It's learning how to grieve, learning how to grieve when I'm autistic, learning how to grieve with my provider Jenny that I witnessed it with, learning how to grieve alone, learning how to grieve with my other providers that will support me on this too, not just Jenny. So there's a lot of things that play in mind, but this past year I have grown a lot. Wow. I'm so happy I did reflect on that video with Sarah about that accident a couple weeks ago, because I am a different person from now to then. And I'm just, I have changed a lot. I'm stronger. My emotions are not attached to the situation. They're separated. And I'm mentally fine. I just had some triggers that really sparked up this week, because it's the last week of the 1-year anniversary. That will be next Thursday in 6 days. But just wanted to let you know where my headspace is at, and just to document this too. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.